Tilted. Okay. Hi and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kiva. And today I just wanted to give you 3 LGBT movie representation recommendations. That works. A constant struggle of mine has been to find movies about LGBT couples or protagonists. And more than that, movies like that I actually like. So I thought I would share a few recommendations of mine for anyone who is sharing the same dilemma. Obviously this is all based on my personal taste, so I can't guarantee that you will like them, but I personally think that they are very good. I wanted to find a movie about a transgender character to talk about in this video. There aren't any that I love. There are a few movies that I like, but none that I felt confident enough to talk about in this video. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. The first movie I want to talk about is The Half of It, directed by Alice Wu, which is a movie that has recently been added to Netflix. Sorry, I think there might be a noise in the background, but oh wow. What is that? Is that someone mowing their lawn? It revolves around 3 characters, Ellie Chu, Paul Munsky, and Esther Flores, who all live in an American town called Squamish. Ellie Chu lives at the train station, which she helps run with her dad. They're not doing great financially, so Ellie Chu writes people's essays on the side for money. Cash, money. To get that bread. The catalyst, I guess you would say, for the rest of the plot is when Paul Munsky comes and asks Ellie if she would write him a love letter to give to Esther Flores, who Ellie is also secretly crushing on, I guess you would say. Though that's developed more later on. I don't know what this is. Now, usually I'm one to be firmly against the love triangle trope, but this is one where I actually enjoyed it. I think usually a problem with the love triangle trope is the third character is introduced way later on, and so I've already grown to care for and root for the first 2 characters, and I find the third character more of a inconvenient, annoying plot device to make the story more interesting. But with The Half of It, all 3 characters are established immediately, and you get to see from these perspectives from the beginning, so you can root for and you grow to deeply care about all of them, which I think really makes a difference to the story. I don't know if that made any sense, but there you go. You get to follow the characters as they try to figure out their feelings, and I feel like all 3 of the main characters are developed really well from the beginning. Although I want to say 4, because Ellie's dad is also develops and grows as the film progresses. The last year of high school is of course a confusing time, and I feel like the movie expresses that feeling of a lack of identity and purpose really well, where you're trying to figure out who you are as a person and who you are outside of what your peers think about you and your parents' impression of you. Yes, Ellie Chu can be kind of pretentious, well, sometimes a lot pretentious, but she's so openly and unapologetically so that it's actually kind of cool. It all seems genuine rather than an aspect to try and impress other people. I only had a few qualms with the movie, some of them from a moral standpoint, that I thought some of the more questionable things that the characters did weren't properly addressed, but I don't really want to get into specifics because I don't want to spoil anything. But one thing I will say, which is kind of a separate issue, is I felt that the characters, the outside characters other than our 3 protagonists and Ellie Chu's dad, were rather cliche and one-dimensional, but I don't think that was a big enough of an issue for me to actually take points off the movie as a whole. Overall, the good points of the movie I feel outweigh the bad, and most of all, it's just a really interesting story. Movie number 2, which is Handsome Devil, directed by John Butler. Handsome Devil is a movie about a kid called Ned who is forced by his dad and his stepmom to attend this Irish all-boys boarding school. He's a loner and doesn't really fit in with the rough and tumble atmosphere of the school. It's a place fraught with toxic masculinity and homophobia, but most significantly plot-wise, rugby. Ned plans to spend the year keeping his... What am I saying? Ned plans to spend the year keeping to himself as usual until the new kid, Connor, becomes his roommate. Connor is a rugby star, and whilst the two don't get along at first because of that, slowly the two become good friends and become really close. Their friendship isn't generally approved by the rest of the school, specifically the boys' rugby coach, and is tested throughout the movie. Whilst this isn't... That's nonsense. Speak. Whilst this isn't necessarily a romance, which is the kind of story that I'm usually drawn to, I still really enjoyed it. It's a movie about overcoming society's expectations of you and confronting bigotry. It's about being yourself, even if you're afraid about what others might think. For some people, it's dangerous to be out of the closet, but I think sometimes we encourage people too often to hide who they are because we're scared, and we don't want them to have any scary or horrible experiences. But pretending to be someone you're not is painful in itself. It's a really delicate issue, and of course every situation has its nuance. But I think Handsome Devil deals with this really well and portrays it really well. The third and final movie is a documentary called All in My Family by Heo Woo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's about Heo and his struggles with being a gay man growing up in a really traditional family. He talks about his past while we follow him and his partner while they have their two first children through surrogacy. It's a sad and really heartwarming story. I don't want to comment too much on the events that happen throughout the film because it's a true story and I don't really feel like it's my place to say anything. But what I will say is the directing style is really well done. The documentary has a really soft atmosphere to the whole thing, and it's a really raw look into his life and his family. It's impressive to me that he managed to create a conclusive and really easy to follow storyline about real life events and in just 40 minutes. He did a really good job of allowing his audience to understand himself and the people in his family in such a short period of time. I think it just serves as a reminder that while people might hold different views as us, sometimes harmful views, that's not all there is to them. I don't know, people are complicated, and that's sometimes hard to deal with and confronting and upsetting, but it's the truth. I don't know. I think this is my favorite out of the 3 movies. All of these are available to watch on Netflix, and I hope this helps. I'm always on the lookout for more LGBTQIA+ movies or TV shows, so please let me know if you have any recommendations in the comments below. I will give a quick shout out to 3 Generations, which is a movie about a transgender boy. I didn't put it on the main list as I previously said at the start of the video. I don't love this movie. I think it runs really long, and there's also a scene where you see the main character binding with bandages, which is a real no-go. That's dangerous, and that's not the safe way to do it, and I think it's dangerous to promote that in a movie without addressing it. But if you're desperate for a movie about a transgender protagonist, that's one. I also wanted to say a quick shout out to my 7 subscribers who most, if not all, are my friends and family. So thank you guys, your support means a lot to me. Sorry for taking so long to make this video. I was in the process of moving and soon will be in the process of moving again. These times are hectic. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and staying healthy. I wish you guys all the best, and I hope to see you soon with another video. Thank you. Bye.